Good morning, it's Toraph Moses. It's Saturday, June 27th, 2020. It's an overcast day, humid. Actually there is no sun, it's actually just cloudy. Decided to do a meditation. I attempted to do one yesterday. I went out to Coney Island Beach and Park really early, and I noticed that they were whistling people off the water, so I snuck in for a second, got myself submerged in the water, and I just ran off into the shore before security told all of us to just eventually not go in the water. I did manage to speak with one of the security guards, and he said that the beach is officially closed and will be open with lifeguards on July 1st. So he was kind of frustrated that he was assigned to do a task to tell people not to go in the water. He didn't feel it was fair as well, and so we were in agreement with that. And it just goes to show you that not everyone is in agreement with what's happening in terms of mandates and restrictions. It's really interesting times that people are starting to realize that our rights and liberties have been highly compromised, and it shouldn't be taken for granted in terms of our freedoms, and we should fight for it because it's important that we maintain it. To introduce my tools I'll be using, I have my amethyst. It's great for protection and conducting love, as well as my rose quartz or love quartz. Also great for channeling love and protection. So I'll just leave these two love stones and protection stones near the phone as a shield against any negativity. I also have my chunk of amber, great for transmuting energies and protection. I'll be holding on to that. I also have my selenite wand. I learned recently through Christopher Stephen Jacobs that having a large crystal will be ideal tool to use while channeling either your perceived higher self or other beings. So I tend to channel my higher self or my perceived higher self. I'll be using these chunky tools, big crystals, to do so. It's also great used for an etheric sword. It activates when light hits it, but your intent also activates it, so it could be like a weapon against any negative entity that want to do harm. So it's a great protection tool. Okay, so before I start, I would like to ask true benevolent source and my people, the Toraph, to monitor and safeguard this transmission and channel. I'd also like to take the moment to bless our water. I'll be using my chunk of amber to purify and clear out any negative parasites, entities that keep this avatar in the 3D matrix. And we would like to drink this water now and cleanse out anything that no longer is needed in the current now moment. Okay. Okie dokie. Oh, my cat is coming down, so if she makes any noise, just warning you guys. Oh, hi, Sagwa. What were you doing? Were you sleeping? She's talking now. Anyway, it's kind of dark in here. I'm gonna just turn on the light. Excuse me for a minute. Okie dokie. Sorry about that. Just had to turn on some background light so that you have more full spectrum going on here. I don't know if that impacted anything, but oh well. Okay, so I'm just going to calm my mind, and then I'm going to call on the elements and get started. So I'm just going to hold on to these two stones or crystals. So let's get started. I like to call on the element of the air. Serve purifying our atmosphere and our rich, life-giving air. Breath of life. Inhale in, exhale out. We are grateful for your protection and healing powers to purify and cleanse our lung cavity and clearing out what no longer serves in our skin suits. We're grateful for your service and healing properties, air. I like to call on the element of fire, of a candle burning bright, in conjunction with Helios, the sun, who is hiding beneath the cloud. We welcome the rain. We welcome the storm to wash away what no longer serves our planet and all of the inhabitants. We ask Helios to continue his tireless work to clear out scalar waves, negative 5G energies, parasites that block the true sun and its healing rays from our planet. We are grateful for your service, Helios. I like to call on the element of water. Behind me is a beautiful pond. In it are a menagerie of tropical fish floating on the water levels are duckweed. The soft sound of the waterfall, soothing to the ear, while the bamboo shoots create a very tranquil, serene space, adding its enriched vibration to this meditation space. We like to borrow the liquid and the moisture within the air of water, and we will make a construct of a watery dome or bubble to surround this complex and avatar. This barrier made of liquid element will help repel any negative. Thank you for that, water. I'd like to take the moment to call on our beloved Earth Mother, the element of Earth, who as well work tirelessly nurturing our planet, protecting her young, the humans, fauna and flora of all types, and unknown inhabitants of the hollow earth or inner earth, unknown to the average human. One day, they too, the people of Agartha, inner earth beings, will one day surface and commune and be with their brothers and sisters, the people of the earth, humans. That day is soon to come. We are very grateful for the Mother helping in conjunction with all of the elements to stabilize our planet and our solar system and neighboring planets. Who are also have conscious, and they are one with the Mother as well. The purpose of this meditation is to essentially rejuvenate, replenish this 3D avatar's energy, as well as acknowledge that restraints on the humankind are quite apparent lately. Many moves from the Dark Ones have made life harder on the surface population. Nevertheless, humanity must not lose focus on remaining positive, remaining hopeful, and remain calm. Every individual must realize they too play an important role in maintaining our positive timeline. However, many souls are drifting and complying with certain dark agendas that are not in the service for the humankind. We ask the Earth Mother, all of the elements, to help restore order in these trying times. We ask all the elements. We ask all of the beings out in the super omniverse and beyond to also acknowledge that unconditional love and a balance of the heart and mind are the most powerful tools that one can wield. For these reasons, no one is helpless in these trying times. You too have a voice. You too can share your ideas, your talents through visual presentation, words, reports, and other means to get the message of a unified planet Earth, a unified Galactic Federation, a unified of Confederation of Worlds. You see, what happens to one solar system affects other solar systems. What happens in one density and dimension also impacts other densities and dimensions. We all need to be mindful of that fact. We also need to be aware that the overage is also evident, and our interesting times is working it out, rather balancing it out. Each of us must find a way to get rid of what no longer serves your expression, your skin suit, your body, your heart, mind, and soul. By acknowledging your encumbrances, identifying your past traumas, and releasing those negative energies and traumas of the past and present, and resolving your encumbrances in 0 point current now moment are helpful ways to deal with these tremendous energies, both positive and negative. However, what an individual thinks and believes shapes and creates their reality. So be mindful of what you manifest and create. I'd like to take a moment, with the help of the Earth Mother, to visualize a space where we go today, I really haven't had it planned out. Going forward, these meditations will be spontaneous, and we will just surrender to the 0 point current now moment. However, our intention is to share our knowledge and wisdom, share our testimony, share our reports with the rest of humanity, and take it from there. Before we go to this space, I would like to ask my perceived higher self to come forward. I will share with me your heart space. Activate it as I activate mine. She is a female higher oversoul from the Boots Hercules constellation. Her species is known as the Toraph. And I will activate my heart space now. I ask, if you're with us, share your heart space. Okay. Thank you. Unfortunately, I don't have a name for my higher self. When she's ready, or when we are ready, we will reveal it. I'm covered and encased in this cosmic rose gold energy. It's cosmic and it's flowy, like a nebula cloud of energy. Where should we go? She asks. This 3D expression is thinking. Let's go to the space, to the void, I say. Okay. We're here in space. So much cosmic energy is flowing through us. As mentioned in prior sessions, space, the universe, is not darkness of nothingness. It's like a living body made up of majestic lights. It brights up the entire space with these multicolored, multifaceted lights, arrays of lights, transparent, translucent, also filled with a tremendous energy. There are stars, asteroids. It's like cells or sperm just flying in the air. Everything is alive. Everything has a conscience, as mentioned. I'm there now with her. And I'm asking her, well, I'm trying to see how she looks. I asked my higher self to reveal herself to me. if she can. Can you reveal yourself to me? That way I can describe you. All I see is energy. I think I understand now. Okay, so what's happening is that because I mentioned the Toraph and I made many descriptors of it in previous posts, and I'll just repeat it again. She looks like me in terms of face, in terms of this human face, but female. To describe the Toraph briefly, they're gold, metallic gold skin with hints of hues of yellow. That makes up their pigmentation. They have humanoid features and their physique is humanoid resembling. However, their torso is more broad, like a T-square, and they have a thinner waist. She does seem to have female breasts. They're more smaller than humans, and narrow hips, elongated limbs in terms of legs and feet. They're between 9 to 10 feet tall. Their hair is also golden mixed in with this rust, copper or bronze, and yellows, all blended beautifully. The length of the hair, very human-like, fine and wavy at the same, reaches down to her, towards her ankles. She's adorned with bio-organic or plant life headdress. Not elaborate, but very simple. She's wearing these gold-like ear cuffs. I've illustrated this similar look to a male version of my perceived Toraph self. She's also wearing a loincloth, very lightweight. And she's wearing, similar to La Roche, a kimono type robe, chiffon, lightweight silk-ish, but the textiles and technology to construct it differs from the human way of doing things. She's barefooted, but the energy that I was seeing before was her true self, her true energetic form, which is this nebula, cosmic energy, cloud. Of pure cosmic energy, of pure source energy. Thank you for revealing yourself to us. Your true self to us. I have so many questions, but I don't even know where to begin. So I'll go with the basic, the ultimate question. A few weeks ago, I discovered that true ascension is to liberate from our physicality from surrendering our learning path / experience path of existence into more of a etheric, cosmic self. And to release ourselves from the bondage of having and wanting and needing and being confined to a container, a biological container or a cage, density or dimension. To truly be free as our true, authentic, spiritual self. Be free and return to the Creator, the God, the Source, the Force. And commune with this grand entity as we once did a long time ago is the true ascension. For this example, I asked my higher self, is this true? Is this true ascension truly it? She just shared her heart space with me, which confirms that. I'm waiting for further information from this being. My higher self says, if you want to return to Source, that is your decision. I say to her, there's a component within this being. You see, to describe it in human terms, you have the Oversoul, which is the being that I'm talking to now. And then you have your learning soul, the learning soul that came with a mission on the physicality or the physical plane to either carry out its mission or continue learning what it needs to learn. However, this 3D expression known as Toraph Moses has come to realize that he has enough of the learning process. He has enough of experiencing the earth, and he would like to move on to another tier, and that tier is to return back with his people out there, the Toraph. Are you in agreement with this? I asked my higher self. Again, she says, it's up to you to decide that. Therefore, all three of us have to be in agreement. That is the Oversoul, the learning soul, and the being known as Toraph Moses. Yes, she just shared a confirmation validating that with her heart space. I asked True Benevolent Source and the people, specifically my father, Toraph LaRoche, to monitor and safeguard this transmission. And we request True Benevolent Source to audit this channel and transmission as well in the current now moment. And this being known as Toraph Moses welcomes this audit now. The reason why I request this is because I don't want any distorted information to come out. I want to keep this channel genuine as possible for the benefit of this avatar, for his highest good. Thank you for auditing this transmission. To continue, I ask my higher self, my cosmic self, well, let me just finish what she said earlier. Again, it's up to me to decide to learn or continue to learn and experience. However, one thing to be mindful of prior to our reincarnating here, the learning aspect or component of it was to experience the ascension of physicality into another dimension, which is the perceived fifth dimension. Many of the masses will be moving into this density in the upcoming weeks and months, and some have already moved on to that plane of existence, while many starseeds, including this being known as Toraph Moses, has a lot of work to do and remain on the 3D/4D/5D construct. We understand why he would just rather give up and surrender to the universe and allow himself to return back to his people or return back to the source. We acknowledge and appreciate his service throughout the millennia on this planet. And we are aware as a Toraph people of the civilizations, both great and small, present and no longer existing. We have learned through him, through his experiences on the earth, lifetime after lifetime. The ultimate decision is his. Although the higher self, the learning soul, and the Toraph being are always fighting amongst each other, but deep down inside, Toraph Moses also wants to experience that transition from his 3D physical body into the crystalline body. Okay, thank you for that, higher self. My last question is, what does this skin suit, this Toraph Moses, What does he need to focus on now to maintain his positive timeline? What he should do is what he's already doing, she says. He's reaching out through multimedia to various masses. Although small at first, many will hear it in weeks, months, years, and decades ahead. Many will learn from him, and many have already learned from him. He must continue reaching, using his platforms and his talents to achieve his mission. His mission is to inspire people of all types, from all different backgrounds, capabilities, and mindsets. He must not lose hope in himself and for others. We understand it's very easy to get lost in despair, anger, hatred for each other, and fearing the unknown is a major plight on your modern day society. Nevertheless, humanity must understand they are not alone. Their guides are here to help them usher in the golden age. This 3D avatar is frustrated with what he sees in physicality in terms of the cabal agendas being pushed, where it makes it seem like every living participant where he resides are compliant and or welcome these new orders and mandates, which are all not for the highest good for the people of the earth. It is not his responsibility, you see, to ensure that people are on board with his own ideologies. He's only there as a beacon of inspiration and allow the individual to make his or her own choice and allow them to take action when and if ever. Allow them to be on their own timeline and discover or rediscover or acknowledge their higher self, their higher essence. That is not his mission. That should not be his concern. But we understand the struggles and the conflicts this being known as Toraph Moses has. And we are working with this being now. I do have one more question. When we last spoke, when you shared that download about when you left your father, LaRoche, and how you wanted to experience what it's like to live on the earth in the 3D matrix. Was that true? I ask. And the only reason why I'm asking is because I didn't really call you or summon you, and we did not exchange our heart space, which this 3D expression is learning proper procedures and protocols of channeling. Therefore, I ask you now, was that story or download true? Yes. Is there dualism in the 10th dimension? She says the energies of the 10th dimension differs from other lower dimensions. As beings, we both exist living with physical bodies, and we also are in our etheric energy bodies. For this reason, yes, dualism exists if one allows it or perceives it. So to answer your question, yes and no. Everything is as it is. What you believe is and will be, she says. Thank you for clarifying that. She did want to add one more thing. There was no sadness when she left. There was no big celebration when she decided to volunteer to come down to the earth. Our people were both amazed and intrigued by this noble act. And we understood that in order for our dimension to ascend into the higher planes, we too needed to do some more inner work through experience and learning through physicality. Your service was most needed. We heard the call, and we had that choice to decide to come and answer that call into the earth. I know I have one more question. Did you say to LaRoche, if you get lost, help her to remember? Is this true? Yes. We have ways to see that densities of the lower dimensions, such as your 1, 2, and 3rd dimension or matrices, have a way to entrap. In conjunction with your reincarnation cycle grid, one soul can get lost for millennia. We knew the risk, and this entity was willing to take it as a learning experience. Again, there was no sadness, no malice, nor celebration or sabotatory type of feelings or emotions. Emotions in the higher realms differ from the human way of feeling and knowing. It's all experienced all at one time through consciousness and energy, where one being in our density fields, they all rather feel it and experience it at one time. Because time does not exist in these higher realms, as you are quite aware of. Everything is simultaneous. Everything is one. Thank you. Those are all the questions I have. I'm getting a little emotional, but I'm trying to restrain my emotion to keep focus on this channel. As I close this channel, I'd like to thank my true higher, authentic spiritual self, or my cosmic self, to be present in this meditation. I'd like to thank the people of the Toraph and my beloved father, LaRoche, for also monitoring and safeguarding this channel and meditation. I'd like to thank all of the beings that are present and witnessing this channel and meditation. I'd like to take a sip of water before I continue my last statement. We don't have all the answers. Many timelines have branched off like a tree, with multiple limbs reaching, creating, shifting, and evolving timelines, you see. Where all things are one, things can change every second. Because the hearts and minds of the people of the planet Earth change their minds. This expression now knows. He knows his choices. And when he's ready to make them, we will be with him. I am Toraph Moses. Thank you for listening to the sound of my voice and the channel. It's like I took a nap. It's fuzzy again in here. My eyes are getting adjusted. That was a long one. So thank you again for taking the time to listen. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.